Hello and welcome everyone to Cookin' Dixie Chicks. Today I will show you how to make a classic Southern dish, pimento cheese. But first, I am Jane from North Carolina, born and bred. But now I'm living in Southern Florida, a place known for its diversity in cultures, languages, and cuisine. But while Florida offers many delicious options in food, I still find comfort in the familiar dishes from my childhood. For example, pimento cheese sandwiches are a staple at Southern events, especially important ones like weddings and funerals. When Southern women get together, it's common for several of them to bring their versions of pimento cheese to share with each other. Some of you may recall having pimento cheese sandwiches in your elementary school lunch boxes. At my house, they were certainly a welcome alternative to peanut butter. You'll be excited to learn how many different dishes you can create with pimento cheese. So please join me. Let's make this beloved Southern dish together. Let's begin by assembling all of our ingredients. Now, there are many recipes for pimento cheese spread, but I like this one because it is simple and it is delicious. There are only 7 ingredients, and they're probably things that you have around the house most of the time. So you can whip up a batch anytime you decide you want it. So we're going to start with sharp cheddar cheese, and we're going to be grating an 8-ounce block of sharp cheddar cheese. Now, this recipe is going to be in the comment section of the video, so make sure you check there because it'll tell you exactly the ingredients and how much. So first we grate our sharp cheddar cheese, and any kind of cheddar cheese is just fine, except make sure you get one that you really like because it's the main ingredient. And don't buy the least expensive, buy the one that's the most delicious for you. You can use a box grater or you can use a muley grater. And I'm choosing to use my box grater today, but I have my muley grater on hand just to show you that if you'd like to use that to get a little bit of a softer consistency, you could do that. Okay, so you grate your cheese, 8 ounces of sharp cheddar cheese into this mixing bowl. Then you are going to add 1 tablespoon of grated sweet onion. So let me grate this a little bit of onion for you. Again, I'm using my box grater. And the reason I like the sweet onion is that it gives it a little zing, but it's not too much. But if you like more onion, go for it. I've grated my onion, I put it in my tablespoon, and I incorporate it into my cheese. We're going to stir that up a little bit. Then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now, Worcestershire is a Southern staple because it makes things a little bit smoky. And 1 teaspoon is what this recipe calls for, but I'll let it spill over just a little bit because I think it makes it a little tastier. Okay, then after 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire, we are going to drain our chopped pimentos, 4 ounces. And after we drain them, we're going to make sure you reserve the liquid because you're going to be using it. At least half of it and maybe all of it. So you've drained your pimentos and they're all chopped up, and you can buy them chopped. You add that into your cheese mixture, and you're going to add about half of that liquid and save the rest just in case. Okay, then you will be adding 3 to 4 tablespoons of mayonnaise. And I usually go with the 4 because I like the creaminess. And you can use any kind of mayonnaise you like, but I like either Hellmann's or Duke's. I don't know if you know, in the South there's this big feud over which one's better, but I like to use both of them for different things. So you're going to keep stirring as you go along, as you see. Now it's a little bit moist with the mayonnaise and the liquid. Okay, then there are only 2 more ingredients left. You're going to put 1/8 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And this also gives it zing. So if you want it really hot, you can add more, but I think 1/8 is enough. And then you're going to use 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And you keep stirring. Now to me, it needs probably the rest of the liquid. The rest of the liquid from the chopped pimentos. Okay, you've got all your ingredients in here, and you go to your mixer, and you're going to mix it on high. Now when your mixture is sufficiently blended, you can stop. You don't want it completely pureed. You want a slightly chunky mix, like this. Then all you do is cover your mixing bowl and place it in the refrigerator for a few hours before serving. And now the fun begins. As promised, I told you I would let you know about all the different ways that you could incorporate pimento cheese in your meal planning. And first of all, you can just have a regular old pimento cheese sandwich on white bread or wheat bread. You can have the crust removed if you'd like, and sometimes children request that. If you're having a special party, you can make pimento cheese sandwiches and divide them into thirds with the crust removed, and it looks a little fancy. You can even put a little bit of parsley on top. And there is the pimento cheese sandwich with a twist. And this is one made with rye or pumpernickel bread, and it has a generous portion of pimento cheese on it, a slice of purple onion, and a slice of a juicy red beefsteak tomato, and it is toasted with a little bit of oil. And I happen to know of a very nice restaurant in Blowing Rock, North Carolina, that features this pimento cheese sandwich, grilled pimento cheese sandwich, in their menu. And I've eaten it there before, and it's wonderful. So that's the kind of sandwiches you can make. You can also use pimento cheese as a spread, as an hors d'oeuvre when you have company. Now you can warm it, or you can serve it cold on crackers. Either way, but it's delicious. Your guests really enjoy it, and you always get compliments. Another thing you can do is that you can stuff your celery with pimento cheese, which is always good with a sandwich or a bowl of soup, and it's a good way to sneak in a vegetable, especially with children. And the last way I want to tell you about is called a gunboat. And this was my grandmother's favorite recipe. When she invited all the children over for lunch, we would have gunboats. And what you do is that you hollow out some of the excess bread from a hot dog bun, and then you stuff it full with pimento cheese, and you bake it with a piece of bacon on top. And believe me, it is warm and delicious. Cooking isn't only about making meals. It's about passing down traditions and cherished family recipes from one generation to the next. It's a way to show love, strengthen relationships, and celebrate special moments with family and friends. In the South, sharing pimento cheese is part of our culture. Thank you for joining us at Cookin' Dixie Chicks.